Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Jackson number 20 1155. This is their BE type side load threshold mounted bottom pivot set. Why it's called a side load, I'm really not sure. It's just a center hung bottom pivot set. Maybe because you're going to pick the door up once it's attached and place it onto the bottom stud, which is threshold mounted as is indicated in the description. So here's the stud with its thread and the nut. That is obviously intended to go through the threshold. Okay. Definitely going to need a wrench to put that on, but that's going to mount into your threshold. Once that's situated, you'll attach your bottom arm to the door. What I like to do is get it positioned exactly where I think it's supposed to be, get it installed, test it for margin and for plumb. You'll have these two screws that you'll use for doing that, and it will go into those slotted holes. Unhang the door, make any adjustments, rehang it, make any adjustments. But once you're ready, you're going to run this thread cutting screw through the fixed hole, and that is going to keep it really from moving. Okay. Now this is meant for a 1-inch deep bottom rail, so the inverted channel in your bottom aluminum storefront door, or whatever it is that you're putting this on. You can certainly get this installed onto other types of doors as well, if you've got them prepped or mortised properly. It needs to be 1 inch deep. And let's get the tape measure and go over some dimensions. Obviously a center hung pivot. That means the vertical axis of pivoting is down through the center of the thickness of the door and a specific dimension off of the edge. And we're going to get that dimension as well. So overall length of this bottom arm, 4 inch. Overall height here, 1 1/8 inch. Overall width, 1 1/4 inch. Thickness of the base material is 1/4 inch. So viewing it from, I suppose, this perspective here, you can see from the edge you're about, 9/16 of an inch, 5/8 maybe, but when you include the margin of 1/8 of an inch, you're going to be at 3/4 inch really from the jamb to the vertical axis of pivot, and that's pretty common for pivots like this. Although there's really nothing that tells you exactly where you have to have it located. It does relate to how the door will obviously rotate through its opening. So following conventions for a normal door installation is probably what you're going to end up doing. So you're going to get those 3 screws to hold it onto the bottom, the stud and the nut for attaching it to the threshold, and this is rated for doors up to 125 pounds. I think C.R. Lawrence's material, C.R. Lawrence owns Jackson, the name, the product line, are very good pieces of hardware that are very inexpensive, and they're used on doors that are typically aluminum storefront in nature, but not always. It's very economical and very reliable hardware. It's normal to buy bottom pivots or pivot sets alone if you have a retail establishment. This pivot hardware is not incredibly expensive, and the logic by extension is don't expect it to work 2 million cycles. It will have to be replaced. It's a piece of moving hardware that is a maintenance or a consumable sort of item, so it's not uncommon to have to replace it. There's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can review not only all the Jackson products that we sell, but a link to the Jackson website, and that website actually links to the C.R. Lawrence website, which is standard for that, where that link should go. You're going to see some discontinued documentation, the Jackson product catalog, that's pre-C.R. Lawrence era, and then also a parts price list that's pre-C.R. Lawrence era as well. And those are handy because if you're working on existing material that might be a little bit older, if it's certainly Jackson, it will be older, handy reference material. If you have any questions on the Jackson 20 1155 BE style bottom arm pivot set or any other Jackson product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.